Hi guys!
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas!
Not yet.
Welcome to Santa's Sunday Budget Smackdown!
Woo-woo!
We're going to talk about Christmas planning.
Yes.
Because, you know, as much as people, they just go crazy at Christmas time.
Yes.
I mean, they go all Ferguson, Missouri at Walmart on Black Friday. You know what I'm saying? You need to catch up on the news. So people are hitting each other and black eyes and
stupid
fighting over crap.
Yep.
Okay. So planning for Christmas. A lot of people, they'll say, okay, let's just set a budget for what we're going to spend on Christmas presents. Mm-hmm. And that's as far as they get in the planning stage of Christmas. Mm-hmm. But they forget all of these peripheral things that happen during this time of the year. Mm-hmm. They forget about, you know, what happens when they pull the Christmas tree out and 6 strands of their lights are busted and they've got to go buy new lights. And while they're at the store, they see this really cool wreath and they want to pick that up. And they wanted an extra 6 or 8 ornaments for the tree. Mm-hmm. And they don't stop and think about all these extra things that they do.
Or getting the stuff that's on sale after Christmas, right after Christmas, planning ahead.
Yes, plan
but
ahead.
It's in December, so you need to budget it that you're going to do a little
that's
bit
when
of
I buy,
decorating.
That's when I buy my lights. Mm-hmm. I always, as soon as Christmas is over, I go to Walmart and I go to the 50% off clearance of Christmas lights, and I buy about 4 or 5 boxes of Christmas lights.
Mm-hmm. Several years we've bought ornaments too. That just like 2 or 3 of the really nice ones that are half off.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah. So decorations is one.
Decorations.
Usually families get together with their other, extended family or friends, and it's all about the food. You have to make sure that you've got enough money for the ingredients for all that yummy food that you're going to be eating.
Snickerdoodles.
Sugar cookies, Christmas sugar cookies.
And snickerdoodles.
And oats for the reindeer.
Yes.
Anyway, and then parties. Like I've got a church party. It's going to be an ugly sweater contest. And so I was just looking at Pinterest at what I could do. And so I'm going to have a few materials for it. If I decide to do it. Now, if it's like going overboard and we don't have enough money, then I'm just going to be like, I don't need it.
You can be sucked in 42 different directions at Christmas time from so many places. Mm-hmm. This is a part of the challenge. When you're, we're involved, we serve at our church, and then I have a job, and then, we have family, and so it's like every little thing, because she has a Christmas party at church, I have a Christmas party at church. Mm-hmm. They're different Christmas parties, because our church is so big. There's over 300 people just on our host team every weekend. Oh. And so we're having a host team party. And then there's all these volunteers on the Life Kids side of it, and they're having a Christmas party. Mm-hmm. And then my job is having a Christmas party. And it's like there's Christmas parties.
You have to dress up nice for that. And so.
I wish we could use our Halloween costumes. That way you only have one budget for the whole year. You buy Halloween costumes, you can wear them to every party. It's an ugly sweater. You could have an ugly sweater Halloween costume.
Oh my goodness.
Then it could work through the whole season.
Oh my goodness. I guess it's an idea. Budget free, baby.
So,
budget free? Debt free, that's what I meant to say.
Budget free.
Budget free. That's not going to work.
December is the budget free month.
It's our one cheat month? Is that right?
Cheat month. December, just spend whatever you have.
Spend whatever. Credit cards, get those puppies out.
Go in debt. This is the month for that,
really
for everybody.
Is.
It's the most in-debt month of the year. And
let's try not to do that.
It's really ridiculous how materialistic and far-stretched this month has become in the holiday season. And I'm gonna start preaching, the message about, look,
the real reason for the season.
Because we'll probably buy a TV too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
plan ahead.
Yeah.
Because you've got food, just sit down with. This is what we've done. We did this in November too. You've got to sit down and you got to think ahead, look at the calendar, and see what all is going to happen. And if you when you sit down and you don't know everything's going to happen, well, then gather the information
as much as you can, and then if there's still and I'm not sure, we'd like to have a date, like to go Christmas shopping, because someone's going to watch our kids for us, and we might want to grab a Starbucks drink or even a dinner while we're out. Movie. No, we are Christmas shopping while she's watching it.
I think it's a great idea that we go Christmas shopping, have dinner, and a movie.
Anyway, so we're going to have to budget for that. But you may not know if you're going to, but set aside a little miscellaneous budget.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not sure what's going to happen.
Exactly. Anyway, so you got to plan for the food. You got to plan for the parties. Okay, and then the
clothes, if there's any extra for the parties
clothing for the parties. And then while you're sitting down, here's the challenge: you sit down to plan all this stuff out. You get all the information together, and the free spirit. It's like any other month. The free spirit is like, well, I don't know. What's the details? I don't know. It's on the 18th. I don't know what we're doing. We're just going to a party. I'm like, well, what? Is there anything we have to bring to the party? Is there anything we have to supply for the party? Is there anything we have to spend money on for the party?
Yeah.
That's the nerd side of it. And you have to sit down the same way you do with every other budget of every other month, and you have to get all the details of what's going to happen. The problem is this month it probably has the most amount of details in it.
Yeah.
And so the free spirit has to have the willingness to sit down and work through that together.
Yeah, with the
and not just throw up your hands and say, let's do whatever. You need a plan going into this so that you don't wind up January 1 being that family that's been taken a ride by the culture around us, and you grabbed some obscure credit card that you didn't cut up. Shame on you. Or you applied for one. You applied for one December 1st so that you could have extra money for Christmas. And you're like, I promise we'll get rid of it in January. Don't get caught in that trap.
Yeah, don't.
I don't know how many.
Don't spend money you don't have.
I don't know how many pre-approved.
This year now.
I don't know how many pre-approved credit card offers we've got in the mail in November.
Oh,
because they knew December was coming.
It's like every single day there's another credit card.
It's ridiculous.
Almost every day.
I'm just anxious for the day that my credit rating is 0 like Dave Ramsey's. And then nobody will ever send me another one.
No. Okay, I want to talk really quick about...
the last thing right here, and then we're done.
The budgeting for Christmas presents.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the...
Well, yes, but...
Okay, that's part of that, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, one thing that we got caught up in last year was we set an amount for our kids' presents, like the open presents, and then we had a budget for the stockings. Don't forget to budget for the stockings, because that can go insane. Because you're like, I need a little bit more. Like, this is it? He's going to be bummed with and more candy and more present. And the little presents sometimes are more expensive than the big ones. And so don't go overboard. Maybe even get a smaller stocking so that you don't have to stuff it with a bunch of stuff. I don't know. But anyway,
Kid socks.
Kid socks. And then take them out of the package and just like kind of fluff it up. I don't know. Do whatever you want to, but just make sure that you're planning for that, because we planned and then we got to the store and it was like, but that's it. Let's get something else. Crazy. And I'm like, I need to get... He got so mad at me because I went and I got like $10 worth of candy. And he's like, what are you doing? They don't need this candy. I'm like, but I wanted to fill it with stuff. So just budget it. Plan for that. And so then we also have fairly low, I think, compared to people I've talked to, a low budget for our presents for our family. We hardly even budget for each other.
Yeah, we don't really budget for each other.
I mean, like, we don't spend hardly any money on each other is what I meant.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't go overboard. We don't spend much. So, but...
I don't want anything. Except a TV.
Yeah. And that's one thing that we were talking about. Like, maybe we should just make it really low, the amount of presents that they get, and then we'll be like, and this is our family present. And that's it. And we just wanted to kind of say that this is an opportunity. We're talking to the parents right now. Sorry if you don't have kids.
Oh, yeah.
If you have kids, this is the best opportunity to teach them, to get them on board with this saving thing.
Yes.
And not just like the Dave Ramsey we're getting out of debt thing, but the whole we don't need to be materialistic.
Right.
This is not what Christmas is
about. It's not about going overboard. It's about spending time with family.
Exactly. And if there's a way that you can give back also, then you can talk ahead of time with your kids and say, we are only getting you a certain amount of toys, and we want the rest of that money to go to somebody else that's in need. So why don't we all go shopping as a family and get a present for another kid that needs a present. Yeah. So it's almost like they're feeling like one of their presents is going to another kid, and they're taking ownership in that. But don't go overboard is my suggestion, because kids don't need as much as we think they. And if you want to get them a very expensive gift, like an Xbox 360 or a tablet or a computer or something like that, then make that their only present. Be like, you're wanting something really expensive, so happy birthday, Merry Christmas.
Here's what I would suggest in something like that, and this is my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna buy something big like that for a child, if it's something that they're gonna need to use, it's gonna be a part of their life culture, buy it for them outside of Christmas. Don't make it a part of the concept of I have to have this kind of thing and this amount of expense for Christmas. Make that something that is something, hey, like every year you got to buy school supplies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a part of life. We're buying school supplies because there are needs of your daily life through school that you have to have. So if you have something that's expensive that you want to get your kids, and there's a reason for it, take it outside of the Christmas culture and change your Christmas culture in your home. So that your Christmas culture,
about giving than receiving.
Even if you just make it more about spending time with each other.
Okay.
Instead of the exchange of material things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Maybe we could start a whole new trend in life that Christmas now is about the exchange of relationships and spending time with those relationships, and put all of that gift giving outside of the Christmas culture. And make that something else, somewhere else, with a real reason for it. Not just, it's Christmas again, I got to spend this much money on my kids, and if I don't, they're going to be disappointed, and they're going to cry.
Because I feel like, and I do this too, it's like, I know I'm going to have to spend money at Christmas, so I might as well get that need at Christmas time, so that I don't have to spend a bunch of money at Christmas and get that expensive need on top of it. So what Chuck is saying is, don't spend a lot of money at Christmas.
Yeah.
And the expensive need. Just get the expensive need and then a little bit at Christmas. And just spend the extra time. Because I think that's what my thought was going to at first. It was like, well, we don't want to spend a whole lot of money, so we're going to put all those things at Christmas because our kids expect it.
Right.
Expect to get presents.
Change the expectation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think if you do that, I think you actually would be. I think the family would be happier in the long run. You'd relieve a lot of the stress at Christmas time.
Yeah, that's true.
And it would be more about just having fun. So I mean, that's just something we can hammer out for us as a family, and you can hammer that out for you. Maybe we all just start a new trend.
Yeah, maybe.
And then there's a few fanatics out there watching this video. There's this Jesus is the reason for the season.
And they don't do anything.
We're just gonna get together, and we're just gonna put Santa Claus on the shelf, and we're just gonna put Jesus at the forefront of our Christmas season. I'm just teasing because I grew up with people like that. I grew up in a really traditional group of people. Yeah. If you guys are like that, I'm sorry. I love you. There's more freedom in life than just being so consumed with the legalistic part of the season. Just really, if you make it about family, you're making it about Jesus. We
read the Christmas story every year, and we go to church every Sunday, and sometimes more, every Christmas season, and we talk about it constantly. So our kids know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's about Jesus, not the Christmas tree.
Yeah, and Jesus' greatest commandment. He says, here's 2 commandments I give to you. He said, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And he said, love your neighbor as yourself. Then he said, this is what's really cool I love about Jesus. Jesus is the coolest dude on the planet that ever lived or walked. He said, all the other commandments hang on these two. Mm-hmm. So really, life is really simple, and Christmas should be this simple. Love God and love each other. Mm-hmm. If you can get that right, holy cow. Debt-free, here we come.
Love you guys. See ya.